Okay, I'm just trying to get this thing up. What are we doing now? Right. It's over there. Right, I should be able to get my browser window to show up. This is annoying. Just trying to get this set up right. Just a minute, I haven't got the window right. Oh. Right, that's the one. I should be able to get that out of the way. Should be able to see my scope on the screen. There's nothing on it right now. Oh, hang on. How far can I crush this without losing oh god, my chat's disappearing now. Can I minimise this? I can't see the chat now. Hang on a minute. Hang on, I'll move this over here. That's better. Right, I'm just trying to get the screen set right, because I don't know what I'm last time, but the end of my stream where I was doing all my measurements just got chopped off. Right, that should be working. I've got the camera on, I've got the... Alright, so... Right, oh, I need to put that back on again. Right, all I can see at the moment is them batteries, so... Camera's wilting again. I'll move the cream out of the way. I want to try and... I'll back this camera out a bit, because... Get this lined up properly. So I'll get more in there. Right. I don't know if that's good, but it's tilted, sorry about that, but I'm just trying to get more in the frame. I haven't got it connected up to the other board yet. The other board is this flimsy little thing here, which I made about, 4 years ago. It's just a resonator circuit. It doesn't use a lot of juice. It runs on batteries as well. Really low power. Am I working? Because I need to know if it's working or not. Because, the video stream, is it working? Because I can't preview it on my computer right now, because if I do that, you won't see what I'm doing. I can just see the text at the bottom of my window. I need to move this out of the way a minute. Right, so if I can minimise that. So, right, I've got to connect this up to this other resonator right now, so I'll disconnect these leads from the other circuit I was using before, because I'm charging batteries up on that, and I'll connect them to the output of this resonator circuit, and I need the lead from over here. Now, I'm going to have to go to the shop in a bit as well, so what I'm probably going to have to do is just get this set up for now on. So I need to go to the store, plug it in. Right, it's connected up to the resonator circuit. Probably needs adjusting again. It's drawing about actually, I need to connect my meter. That's what I need to do. I need to put my meter in series with this somehow, so I can monitor current input. Right, I don't know if it's... let me just check. Where's that meter need to go? Meter needs to be... I'm going to have to stick the meter right over here. Oh, it's going to block everything now. Let me see if I can arrange it so that you can see the meter and also see what I'm doing. Microphone's in the way. Let me move the microphone over there. Oops. Right, I should be able to see the meter there then. Right, we're on current. I've got to connect this up. I can't see the chat now. What's going on? Oh, hang on. What? Invalid response? Have I been blocked? Strange. What do you mean the invalid response? Well, let me just find out what's going on here. This is online. Right, cartridge says I'm live. Right, let me just minimize this again. Right. not working. I need to open these things. I'm going to put this in saves in my lead. Got to positive is that one. Oops. Oh, stay on. Get this on here. Right. Working. Okay, right. That's the power consumption of the oh, I've got that right backwards now. Don't suppose it matters. Hang on. But I want to be right, really. Right, that. Come on, stay on. I'm using these clips on these battery terminals a little bit funny. Right, the circuit board is drawing. Let me just disconnect this now. We'll see what the circuit board's drawing, right? Right, I've disconnected the output. Okay. Oh, I haven't got my other probe over here, but hang on. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really. I have to change my trigger input. Hang on. Trigger channel 2. Channel 2. Right, okay, so without driving anything, oh, hang on, you can't see, can you? Can you see the meter? Right, that's how much power the circuit board uses right now, without anything connected on the output, okay? It's drawing 46.6 milliamps. Right, that's the circuit board without driving anything. Right, so 46.6 milliamps is what the power consumption of my circuit board is without doing anything. Right, it's running right now, but it's not actually driving anything. Now I'm going to connect my wire back up to my actuator coils. Now subtract that 46 from 81.5. Right. Oh god, I can't do any maths, I'm useless. Where's my calculator? I'm really useless with maths. I can't do it for topic. Right, I'll charge up my solar calculator. Actually, I better put the light on. Right, so disconnect again. Right, 46.6. So let's put 46.6 into memory plus. Right. I want to work this out. I want to do this properly and show you what's going on. Right, let me just optimise the frequency on here. So let's just tweak the frequency up a bit. I need a multi-turn pot, really. I need to get a multi-turn pot for this, really. That's not bad. I'll leave it there for a bit. Right, 46.6, and we're consuming right now 83.6 milliamps. So press clear. 83.6, right? 83.6 minus memory recall equals 37 milliamps, right? So the actual coil is taking 37 milliamps, right? Okay. The reason I'm eliminating the circuit driver board is because obviously you can use a really efficient driver circuit that uses very low quiescent current and everything. So my board isn't that. It's using quite a bit on the regulator. Any 556 uses quite a lot of juice, and there's losses in there as well. So let me just get the trigger lock on that scope a bit better. That's better. Right, we're at about 11, according to this the frequency is 11 kilohertz, but I don't think it's, oh, that could be about right actually. Pulse width is, well, you can see for yourself on the scope, right. Now, this is where it gets interesting. There's the 4 coils, right? You can watch the current consumption on this meter here, right? Now, if I short out any of the coils, right, let's short out the one for the oscilloscope first, right? The oscilloscope's got its own coil, it's not driving anything. Now I'm going to short out the oscilloscope coil. Right, let's see what happens. Right, that should be, that's blanked out. Now, what's happening on the input? It's only gone up by about, what, 10 something milliamps. Now, let me disconnect the short. Now let's see how much, let's find out how much current oh yeah, I mean, where's my other leads gone? Hang on. Right. Right, I'll put this other meter on current. Oh dear, where's my, I can't see where I am, just a minute. Let's put this other meter on current. How do I get this to squeeze all this in? Just a minute, we want to be on DC, and then just put the lead, connect these leads. You know, the wires are all tangled up, I'm just trying to untangle everything. How does it get like this? I just don't know. Why is it whenever you put leads away, they always end up, when you go to get them out of the cupboard, they're always tangled up. I usually don't use these other leads because I need to get a new set, you see, for the scope. Right, let me just plug this into here. Right. Now I'm going to have to put this other meter over here somewhere. It's going to be a bit awkward because I can't get everything on the camera. Right. Sorry about this, but the only thing I can do is back the camera out. Now I'm on current on this one. I don't know if I can show you. Right. Where's my resistor gone? There's the resistor. Right. These two wires, oh, you just see, can you see between this gap? Let me just move this meter a bit. Oh, I can't do that because there's no room. Let's move this meter a bit. Move that one a bit. Right, that's the input current. The black one is the input current. The white one is the short circuit current when I short it out, right? So I'm going to short out. I'm just going to wrap this resistor around this positive probe, which you probably can't see because I haven't got much room to show you. Because I mean, if I move the camera too far back, you're not going to see everything properly. Right. So I've got the resistor on the probe. Right, and that's the real load thing. That's true power when you've got resistor on there. There's my black probe, which is knackered because the end broke off it, but it still works. Now, when I short out one of these coils, let's do the one for the oscilloscope. Now, notice that the LEDs don't change very much. Now, you'll see the oscilloscope display disappear. Let's do that one first. Right. Why? Oh, I haven't got it in the right hole. Hang on a minute. The red lead needs to go in the milliamp socket. Right. Try again. Right, okay, so I'm going to short out the oscilloscope lead. Oops. Now, ooh. Just a minute. Are we on AC or DC? On DC. Oh, we're going to be on AC. Ugh. Right, AC. Now watch. That's the current consumption shorting out the coil that goes to the oscilloscope. We're drawing 42.3. Oops, I've slipped a bit. 42.2 milliamps out of the coil that's normally supplying the oscilloscope, so that's why the oscilloscope readings dropped as virtually nil. Okay, but look at the LEDs, hardly any change. Right, now I'm going to short out one of these other coils. You probably noticed the input as well. Let's look at the input, see what that changes. Now I'm going to short out one of these other coils. Now the LED is dim because these coils are supplying the LED. We're seeing 42.9 milliamps shorted out on that coil. What's the input changed to? Can't even see, it's upside down for me. About 10 milliamps or something. So remember, the voltages are about the same because the voltages on the secondary coils coming out are 22 22.8 volts peak maximum, 38 volts peak to peak. Now the input voltage that's supplying the circuit is 16 volts, right? So double the 16 volts for the AC, and you basically have the input voltage, right? So the input voltage, actually let me move the probe to the input coil so you can see what's going on with the input coil. Right, let me get my other probe for the input coil, just a minute. Right, I'm going to connect my other oscilloscope probe, which will be yellow, right, to the input coil. Right. This is the actuator coil. Oh, I must have a ground root. Oh no, I haven't, there's a connection. Right. So the input coil is yellow. I think I better change my trigger again. Just a minute. Right. Now, I haven't got voltage on there. Just a minute, let me just. Let's see. I'll change the. I want the. Where is it? This one. I want to change the frequency. I want to change that one. What was that one? That's the frequency. I want to change that to peak to peak. Right, we've got peak to peak on the input now, look. On the input coil, peak to peak is 50 volts, right, and 48 volts. So the input coil, oh, can you see all of that? Can you see all of that? Just a minute. And now I'm blocking out the other meter. Alright, hang on. Let me just move this around a bit. I can't see the other meter now, but I'm trying to get this in. Right, I'll move that over. Sorry about this. This is not easy to do because I haven't got much of a desktop really. Right, the input is yellow. The output is blue, right? Now let's short out one of the coils. Now notice that the input hardly changes at all. Just get my resistor on. Right, I've got my resistor on here. Now I'm going to short out one of the other coils because I don't want to short out the one that's on the oscilloscope right now. So, right, I'm going to put 10 ohm resistor across this coil. On. Oh, sorry, on. Off. On. This is where I'm shorting it out when it's on. I'm shorting out one of the coils right now. Right. Now notice the blue doesn't change and the yellow doesn't change much at all. Bear in mind we're drawing out 47 milliamps roundabouts right now. Let's have a look. Because I can't remember now. How much am I drawing? 42.4 milliamps I'm drawing out of that coil. Right. What is the input changing at? I can't see because the meters are pointing towards the camera. The input is changed by, it's gone up to 96, so took it off, 83. So it's changed, the input's changed by about 8 milliamps. So 83.8 without that shorting out. I'll put this resistor across it, and it's got to 96.7. Right. Are you still with me, Scott? And his Schubert's still with me as well. Right. So that's shorting out one coil. Let's short out a different coil. Another coil that goes to the LED array. Right, I'm shorting out another coil now. That's drawing 40. What's that? I can't see. 42.9. 43 milliamps out that coil. Right. If I short out the coil on the scope, you'll see. If you short out the coil that's attached to the oscilloscope, that's on the blue, the output, you'll see that one disappear, but the LEDs won't change much. Right, let me just get it on. Hard to do this. Right. Right, my hands aren't very steady. Now I'm loading down the coil that is supplying the oscilloscope. I haven't touched the coils that are supplying LEDs, but it's drifted off frequency a bit actually, I think. Let me just retune it a bit, because I've got a frequency drift problem with this board. Hang on. I'm hoping that it's not too loud and noisy, because the microphone is a crystal mic and it tends to pick up the interference from it. It's hard. I need multi-turns. They're quite expensive, multi-turns, and I haven't got much money at the moment, so I'm going to have to put some money aside and get some more. I need some more 47Ks, or no, actually these are 50Ks. That's not too bad. Right. Anyway, so input is yellow, output is blue. I'm going to try and move this camera higher up. Oh, I can't at the moment. The lead's not long enough. Damn it! That's the problem. I've got a short lead on the USB on the camera, and every time I put the long lead on, I keep having issues. Let me just elevate the camera a bit with the box or something. Hang on. It might give me a little bit more. Let's see if this gets better. I might get a bit more perspective on. You can see the LEDs now. Yeah! Right, where's that other box? Oh, hang on a minute. I'm just going to put. Oops. Right, this should make it a bit better. we can see a bit more now. This meter wants moving a bit. Right, that's better. You can see more now. Right, so I'm hoping you can see better anyway, but this meter's might be dark now. Just move this out of the way, move these. I've got so much junk on me, I need to move all these batteries out of the way. Okay. Cover the LED. Oh, it's blind. Is that what it is? Right. Okay. Yeah, it's the LED. It's very bright. You see, it's actually driving it quite well. All right. I tell you what. I'll put this bottle in front of the LED so you can just see a bit of it. Okay. Is that better? Let's see if we can get this angled better. Right. Move this meter. Oops, wrong way. Move that meter there. Let's move this meter over here. Right, I'm blocking the view of the coil. I want you to see what I'm doing, you see. It's hard to do that. As I say, I've got a resistor on the end of this probe. It's 10 ohms, and I'm on current on this meter. Right. So I'll short out one of these coils again, so you can see again. It was hard to see before. So there's a coil down here. The wires here, look. You can see these two wires coming out of this coil here, right? This coil. So I'm going to short this out. And there's a slight dim on. Very small amount of dimness on that LED, but because I'm taking power from that coil that's supplying this LED, you see. 3 coils are going through a full. There's 6 bridge rectifiers, right? There are 6 bridge rectifiers down here. Hang on a minute. I've got this other thing plugged in. I didn't realise I need to unplug that because that's drawing power as well. There's a boost converter I've got attached. I don't even need it actually right now. I was doing some tests earlier and it draws about 6 milliamps. It doesn't draw much. It's one of these Chinese things. Yeah. Just disconnected that anyway. That was on the in parallel with the LEDs. Right. And I can turn off one bank of LEDs by just moving that wire to disconnect them, you see. And I want to keep them all on right now. Now, let's short out. I'll move that again. One coil. Now there's another coil on this side supplying the LEDs as well. Let's short this one out. I haven't got it on yet. Right, I'm shorting that one out. And that one's drawing. Oh, my meter's gone off the edge of the. Can't see what am I doing. What's that one drawing? My resistor's come off now. Right, there. Now it's dimmed a bit. We're drawing 43.8 milliamps from that coil. The LEDs have dimmed a little bit because one coil is no longer supplying the LEDs. The other two are, because there's 6 bridge rectifiers and I'm using 3 bridge rectifiers. One bridge rectifier is connected to each coil, so that when I short one coil out, all I'm doing is blocking AC to one full wave bridge rectifier. The other two full-wave bridge rectifiers, because they're independent, they're not being affected by the short circuit on the AC side, but the other two coils can still supply the LEDs. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm using 10 ohms, so it's real power, you see, because I was told that when you short coils out, it's not real power, you know. Friend Z, Fossil Fuels, was telling me about that, because it's something I forgot, and as you get older, you kind of forget these things, but right, I'll connect it across this coil. If I can get connected, right. No, that's the other coil. Stay on. Right. These resistors legs are a bit oxidized, that's the trouble. Right. 42.9 milliamps. Right, I suppose we can see what the AC voltage is peak to peak on the blue side. It's on the coils, really, it's 38 volts peak to peak on the output. The input is basically 49 volts peak to peak. And we have quite a discrepancy on the pulse width. If you look at the pulse width on the input, it's 80 microseconds, and on the pulse width on the output, well, that's strange, it's 4 microseconds. It should be more, really. Oh, it must be measuring one of the spikes instead of the... Yeah, I probably need to move the thing on the scope, but I haven't figured that out yet. You know, where you move your sample point, move it up and down like this does. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, for some reason it was higher on the output before, when I was doing it earlier last night, and now it's lower, so I don't know what that's all about. But it's the cyclic RMS that's interesting. Now I'm getting quite a good reading, 8 volts peak RMS, and that's pretty good. Can you actually read the scope details on the screen, or is it too blurry? I don't know if you can read them or not. Anyway, that's basically what I wanted to do for now, is just to show you what kind of readings I'm getting, and you could see the changes on the input side and the output side on there. So I would also like to short out 2 coils and see how much power I actually get out from two coils at the same time. Oh, what I can do is I can short out the DC side, and we can see how much total power from 3 coils we actually get on the DC side, which is going to LED. So let's put this to DC. Right, I've moved the meter to DC now. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to short out the output DC side from 3 bridge rectifiers, which is from 3 coils, and we will see how much current is being dissipated through the 10 ohm resistor on this white meter. Right, I'm going to do that now. No, remember that I'm not shorting out the coil that's supplying the scope, so the blue one shouldn't change at all because of the way I've designed this. Right, I'm about to short the DC. If I can get this to connect. Come on. Right, how much current is that? $93 milliamps short circuit on the DC side. How much of a change was on the input? Actually, I can't see this meter. I cannot see it. You'll have to tell me, type it in the chat, because I can't see it. Because I can't bend over and short the DC side out because it's too hard for me to see what to do it, really. I'll try doing it, but let me just try doing it. What's that? I can't read it. What's that, 110? So what are we, 110 milliamps on the input when I short the output out, and we're seeing 92.8 milliamps. 110, thank you, Scott. Right, so I'm shorting out 3 coils, right, and I'm not even touching the 4th coil. So 3 coils are being shorted out on the DC side after being rectified, and we're seeing 92.6 milliamps dissipated through a 10 ohm resistor, and the input has only changed by what? 20 milliamps, I'm guessing, I'm estimating. Let's take this off again. What's the input again? Input is 83 milliamps now without the short. So 83 milliamps. Where's my calculator gone? Right, 110 minus 83. So we're basically using 27 milliamps extra on the input when I short out 3 outputs. Right? Tell me if that's right. I think we're right there. So I'm not good with math, but my brain doesn't work with math very well. I know basic stuff, but I'm going to short this DC out again. Well, what is mostly interesting is the fact that the input waveform is hardly changing. I can see a slight change on it. Yeah, there's a slight change on it, but it does appear to be preventing a lot of the lensing effects. You know, that's what I'm saying. Right, that's shorting out the DC side. Release. There we go. Right. I think that's enough for now. I want to save this and see if it saves the video, because last time I lost the end of the video where I was doing these tests, and I sent a link to everybody and there was no frigging tests in it. I don't know what happened there. But I need to go to the shop anyway. I've got to go to the store, so I also noticed that this resistor is actually getting warm. That's the first time any of my devices have actually made a 10 ohm resistor get warm, but just barely warm. Well, it's dissipating 100 milliamps, so it will probably do. Right. And I'm barely driving it at the moment, because this little PCB, this little resonator circuit that I made, there's really not a lot to it. You know, I made it about 4 years ago to drive my original designs which I made, and I'm glad I kept it around. I could have scrapped it and stripped it in parts, but it's a good thing I kept it, because I built another one like that. This is the first one I built, and that was that's the first one I made, and that didn't have the duty cycle adjustment on it. Got the 2 frequency outputs, but it didn't have the duty cycle, so it was a bit cracker, whatever. So I made the new one, which has got the duty cycle adjustments on it, and then I made this one. I designed that one, which is basically a H bridge, but it didn't work so well, so I made a new H bridge, a much bigger one. That's my. I've taken the chips out because I put them on the new H bridge that I've got over there, because it's got a few piggyback modifications on this one, as you always end up like that, you know. And in case you haven't seen it, I'll try and show you, but that's my new H-bridge board down there. This one. I probably showed it on the phone camera, but that's the new one I built. That's the one that gets high voltages from this board here to drive the coil. Anyway. Oops, what am I doing? Oh, the camera's falling. Hang on. Right. Okay, so I don't have a workshop, you see. I have to do everything from my living room at the moment. So anyway, that's it for now. I've got to go to the store, as I said, but I'm quite happy with that. I mean, there's a lot of improvements I can make. Obviously, I mean, I don't even have these coils on the end connected at all. There's 4 coils at the top and the bottom. They're not even connected right now. I don't think I even need them, to be honest. I measured the voltages on them and it's kind of pitiful. It's really not much of a voltage on there at all, so you pretty much ignore them actually. Most of the work's all the work's been done by these 2 middle coils. The coils at the top and the bottom isn't even connected. Actually, that's the point. What happens if I short these top ones out? I never tried that. Let me get the wires. Let me just short these top coils out. The ones that aren't connected to anything. I'm a bit dangerously close to my bridge rectifiers, but there's not much juice in these top coils anyway. I'm just going to hold it on with my tweezers. Oh, it dims a bit, look. It does dim. The LEDs dim a little bit. Right, obviously I could actuate those top coils as well a little bit then. But yeah, I'm supposed to have actuation coils on the top, really. It would probably double the power output. But obviously the amount of power going in would also go up as well. So I would have more power going in, but is it worth it? Is it proportional for more coming out? Well, it probably is actually. But you know what I was thinking of doing is, instead of having coils up on the top here, right at the very top where the ferrite C parts are, maybe if I just put 2 more of these little coils right at the top of this coil up here, and have basically 6 actuator coils, wire them in series, and that would be much more efficient, I would have thought, than having them right up here. That's something to try as well. I'm pretty sure that's going to help even more. I'm positive it's going to help even more. Because the magnets that are on the end are passive right now. They're actually being actuated by the coils in the middle. So these coils are having to do more work to pull on these magnets on the top as well as the magnets in the middle. So by having actuated coils on the very top and at this end as well, it means I could probably reduce the amount of power going in to begin with, and still have the same output. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to save this. Turn it off.